Welcome to McAfee and Taft's Link, legal information news and commentary. In today's webinar, we'll be talking about the No Surprises Act, which goes into effect January 1st, 2022. The No Surprises Act is designed to protect patients from unexpected or surprise medical bills and to provide consumers with greater access to information as a way to improve price transparency. Not surprisingly, the Act imposes significant new requirements on providers and group health plans in order to accomplish these goals. In this presentation, we will help employers and sponsors of group health plans understand the Act's major provisions and new requirements related to advanced explanation of benefits, ID card transparency, website price comparison tools, provider directory database, EOB disclosures regarding balanced billing prohibition, patient protections that prevent surprise medical bills, and advanced continuity of care disclosures. Our presenters are McAfee and Taft employee benefits attorneys Brandon Long and Lake Moore. Brandon serves as leader of the firm's employee benefits and executive compensation group, one of the largest and most experienced of its kind in the region. Both Brandon and Lake represent companies large and small, public and private, as well as tribal governments, accountants, administrators, and other lawyers on the compliance, administration, correction, and innovative design of a multitude of employee benefit plans. Both frequently speak and write about all matters related to health and welfare plans, as well as employer-sponsored retirement plans such as 401k, 403b, and 457 plans. So with those introductions, I now turn it over to you, Brandon.
Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar on the No Surprises Act. You know, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about, or maybe many of you have been focused on, the transparency disclosure regulations that are set to kick in January of 2022. And we had quite a bit of time period. We've had a lot more time frame to kind of get ready for those rules that will be here and we'll have to be ready for in just about 6 months. Those are the ones that require, group health plans to make available these machine readable files disclosing pricing information. And then in 2023, we had some online shopping tool that's required for certain items. And then in 2024, there's an online shopping tool required for basically everything in a health plan. And so for some time, a lot of your vendors, I suspect many of you have not been working on this yourself. You might have been asking your vendors about it. But I know that the vendor side, the networks, TPAs, they've been working very hard to get ready for the transparency rules. Well, then in December of 2020, as part of the year-end, government funding bill, the Christmas tree legislation that we get almost every year where they kind of like to hang a lot of different ornaments and things on it, we got the No Surprises Act, which is different than and in addition to the transparency rules that I just briefly mentioned a minute ago that have been kind of in place and we've been working on for some time. And again, we had a lot more time to get ready for those than we do the rules under the No Surprises Act. So this webinar, I hope, will be helpful in educating you about what the law requires in terms of the No Surprises Act. We just received, we are recording this in late July, but July 1st, we got mid-July, on July 1, we got some interim final regs on the No Surprises Act. And so we're going to update you on what this law requires, and it'll be good for you to know. But really, I would encourage you to get with your vendors, your service providers, again, your networks, your TPA, maybe starting with your consultant, and just ask them, hey, are you guys working on this? Is there anything you need from us? Just to make sure, because that your plan will be ready to comply with the No Surprises Act here in just about less than 6 months, which is crazy. And so, again, they've been working hard on those other rules that have been around for a little while longer, but they're now sprinting, and it'll be really a miracle, frankly, if a lot of these vendors are able to get your plans in compliance. While the vendors are the ones helping us get comply with these rules, it's ultimately our responsibility as plan administrators and plan fiduciaries to ensure that our plans comply with these rules. And so I would get with your team now and kind of just say, hey, I watched this webinar, or maybe I've read something about it and would like just kind of an update on where you guys are. So my partner Lake Moore and I are going to walk you through what the No Surprises Act says, and hopefully it will be informative to you and we won't put you asleep too much.